Hello, I'm live. It's 10 o'clock. I'm Melissa, so I'm going to let everybody get on here for a few minutes and then I'll get started. But I'm really excited that everyone's here and it's my first webinar, so yay! Yeah, so anyways, I'm going to get us started in a few minutes. Like I said, I just want to give everybody a little bit of an opportunity to get in here, log in. I do have a Q&A option open, so if you can see that on the side, if you're in the actual Google Hangout, then you are able to ask questions. And yeah, that will be there. Okay, well, we had someone and then they disappeared. All right, gonna give a few more minutes for people to log in and then I'm gonna start my demo. Welcome everybody. If you're just logging in, we are gonna start in about a minute and get going on Wave. Okay, well, it's 10:03 according to my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. This is being recorded, so for anybody who isn't able to stick around, or for people who couldn't make it today at 10 o'clock, it's no problem. This will be on my YouTube channel, and I'll also have it on my website, which is whaleybookkeeping.com. And we will have that available for everybody. And I'm also going to be doing more of these webinars, a couple more about Etsy and Wave together, because I know a lot of Etsy sellers are concerned and have been using GoDaddy Bookkeeping, which was formerly Outright Bookkeeping. That was a free program that integrated with Etsy, and a lot of people were fans of it. I've played around with it a little bit, but I'm not super familiar with that particular product. However, they did send out an announcement recently that they are eliminating their free option and are going to a completely paid platform. So that has a lot of people, unfortunately, stuck. And but thankfully there is Wave, which is another option, and it's a great option. So I'm going to turn off my welcome screen here and you can see me. Hi, hello everybody. So I'm Melissa. I just want to let you know a little bit about myself. I am a work-at-home mom. So I run my bookkeeping and tax business from home. I have 2 great kids and my husband is a teacher. And my journey in this whole bookkeeping, tax, finance world actually started right after my daughter was born. I grew up in a family of small business owners, so I've always been used to hanging out in my parents' office and helping them with things and just seeing the mechanics of how to run a small business from home. And after my daughter was born, I was looking for some part-time work and needed something to supplement our income. And around came a tax course and working for a big tax company. And so I did their course, and I actually worked for them for 3 years as a tax preparer. But that really got me interested more in business and bookkeeping and taxes, and it just totally opened up a whole new world for me. It was really interesting, really I love the idea of working with people in small businesses. My husband worked as a tutor for a while, private tutor, and so that's how I discovered Wave. I tested out the free version or the cheap version of QuickBooks Online to do his bookkeeping the first year, and it was just ridiculous because he wasn't making that much income doing the tutoring, and it didn't really make sense for me to be paying for a bookkeeping service when he wasn't pulling in that much income. Just couldn't justify the expense. And so I started playing around online. I discovered Wave, and that was almost 5 years ago. So working with Wave, it has just grown immensely. It has become so user-friendly and just so clean. And I just love the company. I have been a Wave Pro for almost as long as I've been using Wave. And I work closely with the company. I've gotten to beta test a few of their apps. So I've gotten to do a lot of fun things working with Wave. I love their pro reps. We email back and forth. So I really do have a good relationship with this company. And what's great about Wave is it is completely free. So all of the bookkeeping side of it is free. And then there are a few of their other things that they do that they charge for. So let me just show you. This is some information that came directly from Wave. So let me get over to the right screen. That's always helpful. Okay. So here's a little bit about the Wave products. The free Wave products that they have, of course, is their double entry accounting, your invoicing, receipt scanning. They do have a personal finance element, but I don't use that as regularly. And then they do have 2 fee-based products, and that are their payroll and their payment processing. So you can, if you have employees, use Wave and process payroll through them, which is obviously a fee-based service, and also their payment processing. So they do allow you to process credit cards through Wave. They use a third-party vendor who processes their credit cards, and I believe it's Stripe. So it is a big company that does their payment processing. You know that things are safe, secure, and everything is, it works really well. And then a little bit more about Wave. This is again from them. So Wave is the company offices in Canada. So they have a typical Wave customer. The people that use Wave are in the US, Canada, India, UK, and Australia, but they also have people all over the world. They do support multi-currency. So you don't have to be just in the US and Canada to be able to use Wave. You can go anywhere in the world, which is really awesome. A lot of people are freelancers, consultants, agents, designers, a lot of service-based people, but also with their Etsy integration, they do have retail. Small businesses, 0 to 9 employees. Obviously, if you're an Etsy seller, you most likely don't have a lot of employees. It's usually you creating and selling and shipping and running the whole shebang. And as most of us do, especially when starting out in our businesses, we tend to mix our business and personal finance. We don't necessarily have a separate business bank account. We sometimes have to use our business card to buy something personal. So Wave makes it really easy to be able to separate those out and keep track of just your business expenses and income. And a lot of people, I know a lot of Etsy sellers on the forums have been saying that they still use a spreadsheet to track all their income and expenses, and just basically going off of their Etsy seller bills and their spreadsheets, or, you know, they've got shoeboxes full of receipts or a file drawer with all their stuff. And definitely we want to step up our game beyond that. And once you move to Wave out of a spreadsheet, I mean, it's just going to be a total game changer for your business and for your time management. And obviously web savvy. If you're an Etsy seller, you're most likely web savvy. Hopefully you kind of can get around and figure things out. So that makes it a lot easier to use Wave. So I'm going to come back to this in a little bit. So what I'm gonna do today is kind of show you what Wave looks like. If you've never seen Wave before in your life, then you'll get to check it out. I do have a dummy company that I basically have set up in my Wave account to do demonstrations like this. So I'm gonna pull that up and show you guys what that looks like. And we can just kind of go through a few things, show you how Etsy integrates. I have some transactions imported into that, and then I'll show you a couple different ways you can import your transactions from Etsy into Wave. There's more than one way, so we'll check that out. So let me open up my cool Wave thing here. Oh, hold on. Gonna go here, share, present to everyone. Let me switch windows here. Too many windows. Okay, so this is Wave, and I have it in a different area right now. So when you log into Wave, the first thing that you're going to see is your dashboard. And what's cool, if you see up here, they have little news and different things that you can do. They usually, whatever their newest update, they'll have a little thing up here that you can check it out, lets you know. This is just telling me I can sign up for credit card processing. I'm not going to do that right now. So this is my retail business. So if you're an Etsy seller, you're a retail business. So this is kind of going to show you your general income, expenses, everything like that. If you have overdue invoices and bills, it'll show it here. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And then what we're going to do, so you set up your first Wave account, you get in here, you'll see nothing. You're like, okay, I want to integrate my Etsy. How do I do that? There's a few hidden buttons in Wave. The first is right here, which is your account settings. But actually to integrate Etsy, you're gonna go over here to this account button, and you're gonna go to integrations. So here in integrations, you can also connect your bank accounts, your credit cards. Wave supports a lot of bank accounts. I've only found one local credit union so far that I can't connect with Wave. But that, again, they use a third-party company to process and to import bank account transactions. All of it is completely secure with Wave. That's one thing that is really wonderful about them, is they spend a lot of time and they have some of the highest security in this. So people aren't going to be hacking your bank account, aren't going to be hacking your credit card, aren't going to be hacking your bookkeeping unless you leave your computer logged in. And then they have 3 third-party apps right here that you can connect. So we have Etsy for shop owners, PayPal, and Shoebox. Shoebox is a outside company that, you know, tracking expenses and receipts and things. So if that's something that you are using, you can connect it. It'll import your receipts that you store in Shoebox. Excuse me, I'm still getting over bronchitis. But what's great is Wave also has its own receipts module, and you can use that. And there is an iOS app for receipts. So as you can see here, it's green on the Etsy and the PayPal. So I have already connected my Etsy shop and my PayPal account. So if I click edit here, I think it's just going to keep trying to load because it doesn't like what yeah, it just keeps saying connecting to Etsy. So I don't know really what's going on here. If you had not already connected your shop, it would prompt you to enter your information from Etsy. And then you just basically go through step by step. It's really a clean process. It's not confusing. So you can do it pretty easily to connect yourself. And then if you want to go back, then you can go back. And if you use your PayPal account as your primary way that you collect your Etsy fees and also how you pay your Etsy fees, then connecting your PayPal account would be really great. If you have set up your Etsy account with a credit card or a bank account that you pay your fees with, then you would want to go here and view bank connections. And then right here, well, right now I have one bank account connected, and then this credit card was connected, but I turned it off because it was my personal credit card and I don't need it importing. So you can connect a bank account, you can connect a credit card. This is where you connect things. Some of the most popular ones are right here on top, or you just search right there for whatever bank or credit union, credit card that you use, and it'll prompt you through connecting that. Again, it's a very secure process, so they're not going to be sharing, stealing any of your bank information. It's very clean. If any of you have ever used a personal finance thing, or if you connected stuff to Outright or GoDaddy Bookkeeping, then it's pretty much the same process. So once you have all of your accounts connected, then the screen that you're going to be using the most is your transaction screen. So what's going to happen in the transaction screen is you're going to see everything that's going on. So here, I played around last year with my Etsy shop, and I created an Etsy shop and listed one thing and sold it. So that's why you're only seeing a very small amount of transactions right here on my thing. So what you're seeing here is what it'll show, what it imports. So if you click on the actual transaction, so these are all from 2013, show details. And right here, this is a manual upload. So this I uploaded, but if you go here to sales, this was imported from Etsy. So what happened is, because my Etsy account and my Wave account are connected, made my sale, Etsy registered my sale, everything processed in the Etsy system. I opened up my Wave, it linked, and it went straight through. So it imported straight in here. Now, one thing I know people were asking about was, you know, GoDaddy Outright, it imported both my income and all my fees separately. Can Wave import my fees? Yes, caveat. There are a couple different ways you can connect and import your fees, and I'm going to kind of show you what that means. So get out of there. So this one was imported from Etsy. Everything else was either from my bank account. So again, I want to have my bank account or my credit card that I pay my fees to Etsy from connected. So here is my 20-cent listing fee. That came out of my checking account. So that was the first transaction that happened. And that came from my checking account. So that is because I had my checking account connected, it imported it directly into my Wave. This is my actual sale. This is the full retail price that I sold the item for. So that imported directly from Etsy. You don't have to manually enter any of your income from Etsy on your sales end. Now, once the shipping label was created and I had my processing fee, that is where you can either import things or you can manually enter it. Or what's going to happen if you just show it from your, say, your credit card or your PayPal account. So say you pay all of your Etsy selling fees from your PayPal account. It's going to just show these are your Etsy fees for the month. If you want it broken down more directly to your shipping label and your list, your selling fee, then what you're going to want to do is either manually enter them, which can be time consuming if you're a heavy seller. If you're not a heavy seller, you may be totally fine entering it that way. The other way that you can do it is you can import your bill through a CSV, like an Excel form. And that's going to be easy. You download it from Etsy. So here's my Etsy shop. I don't have a lot going on because I'm not really an Etsy seller. I just am using this for demonstration purposes. So I've listed a few things and gotten rid of a few things. So I'm going to go back to my 2013 statements. And then you're going to see here, okay, so here you see I have 3 statements here that actually have transactions on them. I have October is when I listed, November is when things sold, and December is when it all got paid. So I'm going to open my November bill. That's what they're called on Etsy, is your bill. So this month's fees were $2.94. I had paid a 20-cent listing fee, which because I sold the item, then that is credited back to me. So I paid 20 cents to list the item. I sold it for, or the cost of selling it and the shipping label that I did directly from here is $2.94. So here you see the transaction fee is 4 cents. The shipping label was $2.90. I automatically had already paid 20 cents. I guess I went there on November 1st is when it got paid. So that's going to show you all my fees. And see right here on your Etsy shop. So if you're in your bill, you pick your month, download this entire monthly statement as a CSV file. So all I'm going to do is click that, and it's going to show up down in my downloads. I'm going to open it up really quick just to show you what this looks like. Okay, it's opening. Let it think a little bit. And this is also something that you can do when you're when you have a bank account that does not integrate with Wave. So there are a few, like I said, local credit unions and things that may not be in the big importer. So it doesn't necessarily import everybody and everything. So what you can do is do a CSV. So let me open this up, and I have to switch. Hold on. Gotta switch my screen share. Hi. Okay. I'm just gonna do this. Whoa. So this is what it looks like. I have a Mac, I use numbers. So, but it'll look very similar in everything. So it's gonna have all your information, payment fees. You don't have to edit this at all. It will import cleanly into Wave. So all you need to do is get to your Wave. We're gonna go back to Wave. And obviously this is gonna duplicate everything in this, but that's okay. This is my dummy account, like I said. And you're going to go to upload a bank statement. So uploading this bank statement is going to import everything broken down. Like I said, this is only if you want everything very cleanly broken down. Fine, okay. Etsy statement. So I chose my statement. And I'm just going to say that this is coming in and out of my checking account. If you have more accounts, we'll talk about getting all your accounts set up correctly and everything. That's something that I can help you with, or another Wave Pro, and also something I'll go over in a future webinar. Like I said, today is just an overview, kind of showing you the basics of how Etsy and Wave integrate. Okay, so once you go to import a CSV, Etsy is asking you to just verify the categories and what they are. So it's asking you, is this the right column for the date? Yep, that's the right column for the date. It says, is this the right column for deposits? So is this money that you received? Right now I'm going to say yes. We'll delete that afterwards because that's a deposit into your Etsy account. Is this the right column for descriptions? Yes. Okay, and then it says, is this all correct? Do you have the right things? Yes, upload my statement. Now, because I've already uploaded this statement before, it's telling me, hey, wait a minute, there might be some duplicate transactions. Are you sure you want to upload these? And I say, yeah, I want to upload them because I'm showing everybody how it works. But if you were accidentally uploading the wrong one, then you would probably want to stop. And, you know, sometimes you get in a groove, you're uploading multiple months at a time, and then all of a sudden you realize you've uploaded the same month 3 times. I've totally had those moments, so don't worry. So right now it's processing. It'll just tell you that up here. As soon as it's done processing, it's going to show everything down here. So while that's processing, I'm going to show you a few things. So first of all, right here, this 20 cents, even though it's showing it as income, this is actually an expense. This was my listing fee. So because I imported it from my Etsy account, it's showing as a credit to my Etsy account, which is income. But in my actual bookkeeping, this is not a credit to me. This is me paying my fee to Etsy. So when I go here and it's going, oh, this is a description from a manual upload. If I want to edit this transaction, I have to disconnect this. So this little button says detach this and create another transaction with this record. So I'm going to detach this. So now it's detached. There we go. And I can edit it. So what I'm going to do here, show details, unlink transfer. There we go. Okay. Now I can switch this to an expense. So I'm just gonna pick something right now. And this is my listing fee. So what you can also do is if transactions are just being a mess, you can delete them. So it's really easy. Just click delete. Yep, I want to delete that transaction because it's not income. I don't know why. Take off that negative. There we go. So now it's showing my listing fee as 20 cents negative. My income, $2. And then again, these are duplicates. So I go, oh, well, that and that are the same thing. So what I'm going to do is just delete this one because I want it to show it broken down. So this is example of all the transactions you're going to see for one sale. You're going to see your listing fee. You're going to see your sale price income. You're going to see your transaction fee. And if you do your shipping labels through Etsy, then you'll show your shipping label there. If you do your shipping labels separately, if you do them through the post office website, if you take them all to the UPS store and do it that way, if you have a separate software, you will have to enter those either individually if you want to track every single sale, or you'll just enter if you get billed monthly or billed weekly. However that works out for you, you would want to enter that as your postage and delivery expenses. So now that I've got transactions in here, you kind of see me how they import. The other way to manually enter anything right here at the top, these super handy dandy buttons. This is to add income. So say that you are primarily an Etsy seller. Your main business is on Etsy, but you still do craft fairs. And you went to a craft fair and you sold 2 items there. Hopefully they're big, expensive items, so only selling 2 items is a good day. You would just click this add income, and down here you would add, just basically go through all the steps of, okay, today I sold 2 benches for $200. This is going to be sales. And if you want to create more income categories other than just sales, you can create an income category for Etsy sales, for you can create a different one for your craft fair sales, for if you have a separate website that you're selling through that's not just on Etsy. You can break down those income categories and those sales categories as much as you want, because it's all going to be lumped in under your income. So when we do our other stuff, your reports and everything like that, it'll all show up cleanly. And I'm just going to say that they gave me cash. I haven't deposited it yet, so that's where it is. And there you go. Now it shows that I have sold 2 benches for $200 and 1 sale on Etsy. And now I'm going to show you something that is the most important thing to me as a tax preparer, is that we want to look at your reports. So this is what you need. And this is where using a spreadsheet or waiting till the end of the year or even January, February and adding up things really by hand in a notebook, in a spreadsheet, however you do it, that's time consuming. I've done that before a long time ago. And it just takes forever. And it's so frustrating when you keep telling yourself, why didn't I do this ahead of time? Why didn't I break this down? Once you start using something like Wave, you have this beautiful thing called an income statement. Some people also know this as a profit and loss. So I'm gonna put this back to December. So this is for 1 calendar year. You can update it. You can change the parameters, the dates of this report to anything you want. So you can change it for just one, to show a report for the month, for the year, however you want to do it. So this is showing from last December 1st to this December 1st, all of my transactions and everything that I've done. So my total sales has been $264.95. I have some other things in there with invoices and such. And then if I had listed my expenses for my supplies, so if you're an Etsy seller, you're creating things, you have to buy supplies. Say you're making necklaces, your supplies are going to be your chains, your beads, your clasps. Anything that you use is going to be part of your cost of goods sold. And I can explain that in more detail at another webinar. And if you say had shop rental, say you rent a little space to create your stuff, then that would be under your operating expenses. Right now, we're pretending that I don't have any expenses. So we can see that that's my total profit. That's what's going to go on my tax return. That's what you're going to see when you go in to get your taxes done, do your taxes online, however you do that. This is just going to be exactly what you put on your tax return. So it's going to make your life a lot easier. Yeah. And so I'm just going to walk you through a few of the other windows of Wave just so you can see it. Maybe you're not an Etsy seller, but you were just interested in seeing Wave. Wave does allow you to create invoices. So here I have just a pretend invoice for Bob, and he owes me $70.31. I can open this invoice. So right here, these magic little arrows like to appear. So sometimes Wave has hidden things. So this is what my invoices look like. So I sold Bob a widget and a thingamajig. And so I do have the tax rate set up in here. I'm in California, so you can enter your sales tax rates. I know usually Etsy does allow you to consider in sales tax. I'm not 100% sure. So if you're selling things outside of Etsy, you can enter your sales tax. So that's how I know everything here. And the cool thing about these invoices is you can send it through Wave's email relay. So they'll email it directly to your customer. You can send it through Gmail, Yahoo, or Outlook. So it looks like it's coming directly from your email. You can share it, just a link. So you can email them a link, text them a link, however that works for you. Or you can export it as a PDF, save it, and you can also print it and hand deliver it to your customer. So that's a great way to be able to do invoicing. You can do recurring invoices with Wave, which is really cool. If you provide an ongoing service, a membership, a subscription, anything like that, you can create recurring invoices. You can create estimates. So if you are a craftsperson and you have someone contacting you for a custom item, you don't necessarily want to deal with it through Etsy. Maybe you just want to do it outside. You can create an estimate, send it to them, have them approve it, and then convert that to an invoice when you're doing custom things. And if you have repeat customers and you want them and they go, oh gosh, Melissa, how much did I buy from you this year? I really need to know. Can I please have a statement? This is brand new. We've just introduced statements, which is really awesome. Having customer statements is a big deal. I only have one customer right now. This is Bob. So it's figuring out what's up with Bob. Oh, it's because Bob was last year. So maybe I need to go back for the last 12 months, say, oh, I need to see what's going on with Bob. So this works great for both unpaid invoices, a statement of the account of unpaid, and also paid invoices. So this just gives you a complete breakdown of each customer's transactions with you, which is really neat and helpful. What's going to be really helpful for Etsy sellers is the bill feature. So bills helps you keep track of your expenses. So if you're buying a lot of things from one vendor, say you have one website that you buy most of your supplies at, one store that you go to, but they're different types of supplies. So if I went to Target and I bought office supplies like paper, shipping boxes, tape, and I bought some beads because they were on sale and my Target carries nice beads, I would have to break down that transactions like individually for each category, or you could just create a bill. Or if you have certain companies that you do have terms with and they do send you bills, you can enter the bills here. So that's neat there. Also receipts. Receipts is really cool because they have an iPhone app. So if you have an iPhone, an iPad, an iPod Touch, you can take a snapshot of your receipt and it will try to translate that into an expense. Sometimes it works better sometimes than others depending on the type of receipt, but it's really neat to be able to just upload your receipts because you also have an image copy. And like I said, I am both a bookkeeper and a registered tax preparer in California. So in California and with the IRS in the US, we have to have copies of our receipts if you get audited. They're going to ask to see, and they do accept digital images. So rather than keeping that file, accordion file or drawer or shoebox full of your random receipts from the stores that you've been to, you can keep them all right here in Wave, and it'll have the image and it'll be awesome. They also have a video to kind of show you how to do that. So that's what's going on there. So I'm going to bring it back to me. Hi, I'm back. So that's kind of an overview. Hopefully I didn't go too fast for everyone. I know that there's so much detail, so much that you can do, and so much that Wave can do, which is why I love it. So one great thing that Wave offers, and this is kind of where me personally in my business connects with Wave, is that you can add a collaborator. And you can add multiple collaborators. You can connect a lot of people up to your Wave account and grant them different permissions. So I'll show you kind of the screenshot of what that looks like. And you can see how to collaborate. Helps if I have it up. So you can, hold on, let me find it. The screen sharing business, gosh. Okay. So this is kind of what collaborating looks like. You can either add guest collaborators right here. You click your little thing, you enter their name, their email, and then they have two different levels of access. So they can view, so they can just come in and look and see what you've done, and that's it. Or you can view and edit. So if you have someone like a bookkeeper, a tax person that you want, or say you have an office manager, and rather than giving them your login information, they have their own separate login information, but they can work on your Wave account. They can edit your transactions and everything like that. So when I have a client and they want to work in Wave with me, they add me as a collaborator. They usually give me view and edit privileges. I can go into their Wave from my computer at home. I don't have to remote access their computer. I don't have to do anything like that. I can just log into my Wave account and it'll show their business linked to my account. I can go in then and check their transactions. I can look at their reports and say, hey, this needs to change, or you need to watch out on this for next month. And also if they have a bunch of, say, transactions that are uncategorized, they don't know, okay, I had this expense, but I don't really know how to categorize that. I'll go in and work with them and get everything categorized properly for their tax return so that everything is clean at tax time and it's a lot less stressful. That's primarily what I do. I act as a coach for people for Wave. I show them how something is done. I'll walk them through something. There's, a few more advanced things in bookkeeping. If you want to keep track of things that you're, say, depreciating. So say you bought a computer specifically for your business. You bought a printer specifically for your business. You bought a camera. You bought something really big that you're going to be using for more than a year. You're going to depreciate that. You want to keep track of that in your bookkeeping. You don't just want to have it out there floating. So I can show you how to do that in Wave. So some of the reasons that I really think it's important to have a collaborator, some form of collaborator, there's a lot of different reasons to collaborate, but one of the main reasons to have a collaborator is that you're not doing it alone. You are, I don't know how to, so why would I collaborate? You don't have to do it alone. Bookkeeping is stressful. Running a business can be very stressful. It can be a ton of fun and really exciting too, but you don't want to have to do it alone. You want to have someone there with you. Also, accountability in your bookkeeping. Very few of us have actually gone through accounting classes, bookkeeping classes, been trained on how to track everything. It's not always as simple as income and expense. There are nuances to bookkeeping, and also you want to know that you're doing things right, especially if you are, you accidentally buy some business things with your personal account, or you accidentally use your business account to buy personal things. You're like, oh no, how do I clean that up so that when people look at this, it's not a big mess? Avoid making mistakes and be totally prepared for tax time. So those are some of the reasons. You want a second set of eyes to catch your mistakes, to see, oh, that's not categorized right, or oh, that needs to be split, or oh, there's double transactions there, or something's missing, so that when it comes to tax time, you have a clean report to give your tax preparer, or something to go off of. You're not having to bust out the adding machine, your calculator, and your spreadsheet at the end of the year to figure out how much money you've made. And it really does help to have someone to tell you, like, listen, you've gotten to the point where you're ready to move up. You have all this money saved. You can take it to the next step, or you need to hire someone, or anything like that. So what's exciting is you can connect with me. I do have an Etsy client special. So if you have been using GoDaddy / outright bookkeeping, you've been using a spreadsheet, or maybe you kind of signed up for Wave, but you have no idea how to use it, I'm doing a new Etsy client special. So if you're a new client to me, then I will give you 3 hours of setup time for only $50. My normal hourly rate is $25 an hour for working in Wave. And that's for coaching, checking things. That's not for full charge bookkeeper. I'm not a full charge bookkeeper. That's just not what I do. That's not what I love. I am not the kind of person who wants to sit there and do all your data entry for you. There's lots of people who want to be a data entry person, and that's great. And I'm capable of it. I've done it before. But really what I love to do is to help people succeed in their business, to help remove the barriers of bookkeeping and taxes, because that is such a big barrier. People are so overwhelmed by that when you're starting a business. A lot of times you are a pro at what you do. So you're a pro at creating, you're becoming a pro, or you are a pro at selling on Etsy, but that doesn't mean that you're a pro at bookkeeping. And a lot of people just get totally overwhelmed with that. So that's what I'm here for. And there are a lot of Wave pros. Some of them know how to do the Etsy integration. Some of them may not. It just depends. You'll have to see. So there's a couple different ways you can work with a Wave pro. You can try to find someone locally who can meet with you face-to-face or over the phone, however you want to do that. You go to Wave and there's a Wave Pro search, so you can find a person, or you can work with someone remotely. Obviously we're doing a Google Hangout, so we know how to connect over the computer. I work remotely with a lot of clients and I love it. It's easy, especially with us work-at-home moms. We know how it is. You can't always get a babysitter and this and that to get to a meeting, a face-to-face meeting, but you can definitely put the kids down for a nap or drop them off at school and sit in your office on your computer and Google Hangout with someone while we figure out your Wave accounting and your bookkeeping. So if that's something that you're interested in, you definitely contact me. You can see my website here right at the bottom with my name, and I definitely would love to do that. And if you know other Etsy sellers, or even I know there's a few bookkeepers and Wave pros on here who are trying to learn how to use this Etsy integration with Wave, definitely get them in contact with me. I'm going to be doing these webinars again, and probably another 2 to 3 times, hopefully, that's my goal, before the December 31st cutoff for GoDaddy Bookkeeping. I know there are a lot of people who are using that who do not want to pay the $50 to continue to use that. They want to go somewhere free, so I can help you with that. These webinars are going to be basic introductions just like today. And then beyond that, I'm going to have some more private sessions set up with 1 or 2 people to go into detail and some more detailed training. And then I can also do obviously the one-on-one sessions and the setup and the training. Like I said, I have the new client special, which is $50, and it's 3 hours of setup time. It usually does not take that long. So if it takes less than 2 hours, you'll even get reimbursed. So that's what's going on there. And I hope that you guys have been able to learn something today, that it's been a good time. If anybody has any questions, if you're in the actual viewing, there is a Q&A section. So if you want to ask me a question, feel free to do that. If you don't have any questions, then I'm going to wrap this up, and you can also email me your questions, and I will just let you know what's coming up next. Keep an eye on my website. I have a Facebook page, Whaley Bookkeeping, and I also have a Google Plus, which you're kind of listening. Okay, I do have one question. So I have 2 Etsy shops and 1 eBay account, all linked to my PayPal. My transaction page looks insane. It appears I can only link 1 Etsy shop to Wave. Any idea if Wave is going to integrate eBay or multiple Etsy accounts? I do not know about integrating eBay. And as far as multiple Etsy accounts, it depends on how they are working on their Etsy integration. The last time that I talked to Brooke, who is kind of my contact person at Wave, she said that there is an Etsy integration team, and they are discussing a lot of what's going to be coming and how they're going to be improving the Etsy integration, because they know a lot of Etsy sellers are going to be moving over to Wave. As of right now, if you have multiple Etsy shops, my best suggestion would be to do the importing of your bill and just do that CSV import. And you know that you can do it monthly, you can do it quarterly, depending on your sales volume and how you feel about that. But that would allow you to import all your transactions from Etsy and both shops pretty cleanly and in one batch rather than hand entering them. And so if you're doing, eBay unfortunately does not integrate with Wave yet. But yeah, like you say, you're using your PayPal. So if you have your PayPal linked to Wave, then it's importing transactions like crazy, and you probably just want to pull your hair out. So I can see that, you know, that's something we can look at, and I definitely want to talk to Wave. So I'll let them know that there's a desire for an eBay integration. I think that would be awesome and a huge deal. It would really make things a lot easier for us eBay people and Etsy people. I know when you're selling in multiple places and you've got multiple businesses going, trying to get it all together in one place is so important. And so yeah, if there's anything that I can do to help you with that, or maybe, you know, when you've just got a million transactions imported from your PayPal, you just got to take some time. Unfortunately, bookkeeping is not automatic. No matter how quick the integrations are with Wave, you still have to take the time to go through and clean it up. So that's definitely something that I can help you with, or walk you through a little bit more, or even do a little bit of that for you on a more quarterly basis if that's something you're interested in. But yeah, I'm definitely going to talk to Wave about the eBay integration, and then I'll find out about the multiple Etsy shops, because that would be really helpful if you could do more than one. It would make sense to be able to import more than one, because yeah, not everyone's selling the same thing in one giant Etsy shop. So cool, great question. If anybody else has any other questions, you can type those in. Otherwise, you can email me, and then I'm gonna connect a little survey so that you guys can help me know what you want to know next time for the next Google Hangout, webinar, whatever you want to call this. And then, yeah, okay, I got one more question. So say you are never seen Wave before, and you are just like, I don't know what to do, and I don't want to pay someone to tutor me in Wave, because I totally understand. Wave actually has developed an amazing series of tutorial videos that they've put together, which is great. So they call it Wave University. And let me show you that site. It is so cool. And I'm going to switch over to screen sharing again one more time. So let me do that. So when you're in Wave and you're like, I need help, so there's a couple different things. If you're looking for a specific question, you don't know how to do a specific thing, you can always go in here for the forums and FAQs. They do offer free email support to every single client, which is awesome. And then they have an upgraded, different packages with upgraded support. And then the other thing that they have, which is really cool, it's called Wave University. And let me find it. I'm going to go back to waveapps.com. No, except I typed it wrong. Okay, so this is Wave Apps. This is their main website. So this is just kind of their front page, show you how everything to do. And then for support, you can go right here. Getting started. So there is a live webinar that they do every so often, and you can also view the recorded webinar right on YouTube. So again, if you go here, it's support.waveapps.com, or if you go straight to YouTube, you can look for Wave Accounting. And then this is Wave University right here. So over here on the side, you see like, I need just some basic intro tutorials of how to use Wave. This is the place to go, Wave University. It gives you an overview, talking about how to enter transactions, how to upload a bank statement, how to hand enter it, and just kind of goes through the basics of everything. And then this is, again, it's just not a video, so it's just here. But if you go to their Wave webinar, they kind of do a better overview of Wave as a whole. So you can sign up to join their webinar, or you can, again, view it on YouTube. It's recorded, it's right there. There's lots of Q&A. So they have a lot of support and a lot of resources. So there are a lot of resources there. If you are the kind of person that can watch a video or read a tutorial and figure it out yourself, that's awesome, because that's the best way to learn for me. I am a person that just does. I sit there and play with it. That's why I created a dummy account, so that I could play and mess things up and not mess up my own bookkeeping. That was really helpful. And you can do that if you are the kind of person that does need a more one-on-one coach. Again, that's something that I can do. There are other Wave pros if you feel like you want to work with someone closer to where you live, or just with a different schedule, however that works out. That is why there are Wave pros and why they created the Wave Pro network, because not everybody wants to do it alone. So yeah, that is the best source is their webinar, YouTube, and then Wave University has the tutorials that you need to kind of get started and how to use the mechanics of Wave, because it is a really cool program. One other thing I wanted to mention, I know that a bunch of people have been saying on the Etsy forums that, oh, GoDaddy outright went to a charge platform. Wave is free for now, but they're going to charge. And I just want to be clear that Wave has no intention of becoming a paid platform for their bookkeeping. They do have fees associated with their payroll, and they do have fees associated with their credit card processing, but everything else is free. And that's because of their other paid products, and also because of their advertising. The nice thing about the advertising on Wave is that it is just very clean. It's not a bunch of pop-ups, and you don't really notice it unless you're looking for it. So Wave is staying free. You don't have to worry about that. So yeah, it is, oh my gosh, 11 o'clock. So we've got a whole hour. That is so great. I'm glad you guys are here, that you could ask questions, that I could help you out. If you know other Etsy sellers that are interested in learning about this, I'm going to post another webinar probably for next week. and just build up more information. And then also if you want to get on my mailing list so that you can get tips and information about Wave, Etsy, bookkeeping, taxes, kind of a little bit of everything. You can go to my website, whaleybookkeeping.com, and right on the front page, you can sign up for my mailing list. And yeah, that's going to be great. So thanks you guys for joining me. Thank you for going through this with me. Like I said, it's my first webinar. I probably babbled like a crazy person, but I appreciate you being here. So I am going to go ahead and shut this down, and it will be on YouTube shortly for those people who were unable to make it live today. And like I said, I'm going to be doing some more live events like this. So I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you later.